What's going on, boxing fans? It's your boy Pull Kind of Boxing coming at you with another boxing live stream about this boxing that's going on. So let's get into it. Make sure you smash that like button when you come in the door, and let's talk a little bit of boxing. What's going on out here? Tyson Fury just did he just did one of his videos where he is, doing what he does best, you know, calling Deontay Wilder out of his name and, saying what he's going to do and, uh, just trying to get inside Deontay Wilder's head. But Michael Hunter came out in an interview and he says Tyson Fury, he was having a bad training camp. And, that guy, Jared Anderson, was really beating Tyson Fury up, man. He said he was really taking it to him. Him and Alpha Ajagba, I think that's his name. Yeah, they said it was giving him the business, and they said even Jared Anderson knocked Tyson Fury out. He said he knocked him out. So, but Michael Hunter said that in his opinion, it was not a bad enough training camp to postpone the fight. So, Fury, he just didn't want to go in there with that kind of that kind of performance. So, you know, Fury getting knocked out in a training camp, it don't look good. It's we already have our suspicions as to what it takes for Tyson Fury to get gain his confidence, to go in there with the swag and all that, craziness that he be on when he come into the ring. So, but now he's went back cross seas. He got access, and this is just my opinion. He has access to all his little tricks, and maybe some steroids or whatever he may need to boost his confidence because his sparring partner the last time he said that Tyson Fury gloves were loaded, during sparring, and the sparring, his coach back then, I forgot the guy name, his coach back then. Anyway, he said that they were doing that to boost Tyson Fury's confidence. To like he got punching power to load his gloves so it looked like he's hitting with more power. And I just thought that was kind of pathetic. I thought that was just kind of pathetic. You know what I'm saying? To have to boost your confidence by you know stuffing your gloves and sparring. Sparring is made to, work on skills, not to, you know, well, I mean, I guess it is a confidence booster, but at the same time, you need to, you need to do it the right way, man. You can't be up in there, loading your gloves up against sparring partners because, they got lives too. And of course, Tyson Fury don't care nothing about that. But Michael Hunter said that you know, Fury was having a bad camp, and I guess they just didn't like the way things were turning out, so they terminated the fight. And now he's on Instagram, he's on, these different forums, doing what he does best, Tyson Fury that is, and just talking noise and saying all kind of things. He's talking real greasy about Deontay Wilder. So Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott, they just continue with doing their thing. They're in the gym. They're staying focused. You know, um, Deontay Wilder, if you notice, his jab's getting better. His, going to the body, his boxing skills, his overall boxing skills are just looking incredible. His head movement, his footwork, and I believe this is making Tyson Fury camp nervous. Plus, Deontay Wilder's spirit seems to be, on fire. And I think this revamped Deontay Wilder is got all the Wilder haters. I think it got them all afraid of Tyson Fury losing this fight. They don't want to see it. They're afraid that Deontay Wilder's gonna redeem himself, and they don't want that to happen. That's why they want Tyson Fury to go around Deontay Wilder and fight Anthony Joshua before his reputation, in losing his fight, before he takes a hit. And he won't have the fight won't have the same steam if Deontay Wilder knocks out Tyson Fury. Can you imagine? But something tells me that even if Tyson Fury takes a loss in this fight, that it wouldn't matter. I don't think it would matter. I think people would still want to see Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. I do think that because to me, Anthony Joshua isn't a solid heavyweight. Not like the heavyweight fighters of the past. He don't seem to have the confidence to want to fight the best when he was negotiating with the Wilder. Um, I think it was back in 2019, 2018, 2019. It was clear that they did not want to get a deal done. They did not want to face Deontay Wilder. Even barring Deontay Wilder from AJ fights, he couldn't even commentate on the side. So we've seen something different in Anthony Joshua, some kind of mental block he has uh, when it comes to Deontay Wilder. And we all seen how he fought Andy Ruiz in the second fight. That wasn't a confident champ, a champ that comes in, to get his revenge to show that he's better than the other guy. And that guy usually comes in for destruction. And AJ looked like he came in just to survive, not to get hit with something from Andy Ruiz. Every time Andy Ruiz would throw a punch, it looked like AJ was about to fall apart. And that's what I mean. I just don't see it. I don't see Anthony Joshua, being you know a strong, confident heavyweight against Deontay Wilder, and it just seems to be Deontay Wilder himself that Anthony Joshua just do not want to face, and I think it's he don't care what anybody says. It's just he's just one of them fighters that he knows he's not gonna fight in the ring, and look now it's looking like Tyson Fury, even though he's talking greasy, we still have our doubts that if he would show up for October 9th to fight Deontay Wilder. So, let's move on to other business. Um, the the PBC, they looked at Canelo Alvarez. He wanted $40 million. He wanted $40 million for a replacement if Caleb Plant got sick, and he still wanted the same amount of money if he were fighting a C-level replacement. And you know, Oscar De La Hoya said this a while back that Canelo was hard to really deal with. Floyd Mayweather really created a monster when he created Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez not only does he get all the benefits of having a franchise championship belt, he don't have to worry about no dangerous mandatories, but he's the A side. But you can't abuse the A side power. It's still a sport. And this is not a dictatorship where, you control every aspect of the sport to the point where, the guy, you know, can't have no kind of leeway or no kind of say, because Caleb Plant is a champion too. And I see now reports where they said that Canelo still want that fight, but See, this calls into other things in the question, and this is just all my opinion. Um, I don't think that I think Canelo understands that he represents a big money payday, and most fighters would bend backwards to get that payday. But what we're also not seeing is these VADA testing. He don't want VADA testing because he want to fight when Canelo wants to fight when he's clear, and that's my opinion. He want to fight when the cycling is out of system. I see him lifting weights. You know, he's lifted. He's not deadlifting, but I forgot what he's doing. He's doing basically it's too much weight, you know, on the bars, for a boxer. You can tell his knees, you know, they're he's not able to move well in the ring. You can tell he can't move like he used to. So he's not going to win these fights against, the better elite competition. I don't even think he can beat Plant now because he moves so much, and Canelo can't keep up with a real active fighter like Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant, he is the real deal. You know what I'm saying? It's like even though boxing fans, tend to go by his last performance with a U category, he faded in the second half. Um, I think Caleb Plant would get up for Canelo, who has his own problems with stamina. And right now, Canelo is concentrating on his power, and he always had slow feet, but he got quick hands. And the- but for a champion with uh, Caleb Plant's mobility and ability to box, I believe he could beat Canelo. This version of Canelo, I mean, you seen him in the sparring. He don't use his feet. He wants to walk you down and he wants to put power shots in your belly. And if you go into a fight knowing this, then you got to have some kind of talent, to be able to uh, use your boxing skills to defeat Canelo Alvarez. But there's just so many fighters that are just happy to make the payday. It is what it is. They just go in there and they allow Canelo to run up on them. You rarely see fighters punch with conviction since Triple G. Um, and when Canelo's faced with um, a talented opposition, then you see, then you see that he's just average. He's just an average guy. And I think he realized that Sweet Hands is coming in to win. He's not coming in to lay down. So you know he's making all these weird demands to get out the fight. Even though Canelo says that he wants that fight, and Demetrius Bivol, he's already bending over. He don't care what weight it is. He said he would fight Canelo at 168 if given the opportunity. So that's crazy in itself because he's at 175, man. He's at 175. And you should fight at 175, especially if it's for your WBA belt. Uh, another fight I wanted to talk about was Gervonta Davis, man. Uh, talking about moving up to 147 to fight Keith Thurman. Now that's a ridiculous fight to me. I mean, I think competitive wise, it'd be a good fight because Keith Thurman, he hasn't been looking like himself, man. For the last few years, Keith Thurman, he just looked like a fighter in decline. And Tank Davis looked like a fighter on his way up. And if they meet, it's a good chance that Gervonta Tank Davis will knock out Keith Thurman to the body. And we all know that Keith Thurman Achilles heels is that body. You see them fold up when Sean Porter hit him to the body. We see them fold up when Colosso hit him to the body. We see them fold up when Pacquiao hit him to the body. We see them, it's just, Keith Thurman, he don't have it. He can't take a body shot. And, everybody in boxing knows it. So what if Tank get in there, hit Keith Thurman with a couple of body blows and he folds over? And unlike, the bigger fighters, Gervonta got the speed and quickness to keep on getting in there. So, and with Keith Thurman's status being the former unified welterweight champion, WBA, WBC, that would be embarrassing to have a guy coming up from the lighter divisions uh, to come up to KO you, man. And but the way Keith Thurman is moving right now, and the way he looked against Manny Pacquiao and uh, Jose uh, Homosito, what is his name? Man, can't even think of the dude's name. Um, Josecito, almost knocked him out. I mean, if he come in looking like that, and he come in with that kind of energy, you know, he's not gonna make it. Javante is gonna. It's gonna be weird to see a small guy walk down a big guy and chop him up. Even though one time Thurman got good power early on, but in 1 or 2 rounds, you never see that power again. If you can't connect with that power, it never shows up again in the fight. He just uses legs and his boxing IQ to beat you. But I don't see Keith Thurman really winning that fight because it just seems like his hunger is gone. He seems like he don't have any more hunger. It seems like he's just looking for a big payday, and he just wants to walk away from boxing, and that's how I see it. Gervonta Davis, he got a lot of fights that he's skipping over. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, um, you know, Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko, uh, what's his name, Colbert. Uh, Colbert's there. That could be a good fight right there. Him and Colbert. I doubt if Colbert take that fight though, because Colbert, he seemed like he's another flaky fighter. He seemed like Chris Colbert, yeah. He seemed like he's another flake, that don't want no real smoke. He'll talk a good game, but will he get in there with Tank Davis? I don't think so, bro. I think he already knows the power is real. The power is real. So, so we're getting ready, gearing up for this Errol Spence Jr. and Pacquiao fight. Now we know who's on the undercard. You know, Ugas is going to be on there, and an old fight that came up was Robert Guerrero versus Victor Ortiz, and that's a blast from the past. Um, these guys should have been fought. Robert Guerrero and Victor Ortiz. Wow, that's like a fight from back in the early 2000s or 90s. Um, to see them two fight, I would just be glad just to. I mean, I believe Vic. I don't know. I don't know if Victor would get that or Robert because they're both kind of neck and neck. Victor he can't seem to finish a fight. Um, he was the man at one time though. After Mayweather stopped him, and him and Andre Berto had some great battles. Of course, we all know Robert Guerrero. He's been inactive for a long time. So inactivity is the fight of the two inactive fighters. I don't think they can get back on the world stage with the regular welterweights, or I don't know what they're fighting at right now. But it would be a good nostalgic fight to watch. Um, I'll be glad to watch that one. And Ugas is fighting Fabian Madonna, who is uh, who is the original Madonna's brother. So it's going to be a pretty good card. I would have rather see Ugas fight Keith Thurman. That would have made that card fly off the chart if Keith Thurman and Ugas fought on Errol Spence Jr. and Manny Pacquiao card. That would have been the fight to see. Um, you know that would have been like one of those Don King cards. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just full of stars and full of stuff that's actually gonna move the division forward. So let's see here. So Bob Arum says that Joshua, if he loses, as it says, Fury has options if Joshua loses to Usyk. Of course, he's trying to sell that fight to pit them against each other. I don't even know why he's saying that. Why is he trying to, save face in case AJ loses? And so they're trying to move that. They're trying to move that Teofimo Lopez versus George Cambosos fight for September. For September. So they keep jostling around with that, and so we're kind of in suspense right now. Let's see, and the Sean Porter Terrence Crawford fight, that's going to be happening in November. Bob said that that fight is definitely going to happen. Um, come to find out that Porter was told by PBC not to press for the mandatory. Um, Shout out to Everything Boxing um, for that information. That was his research. That was his scoop. And kind of find out Sean Porter was, he was told by Al Heyman not to put in for the mandatory, and that they was going to press Crawford to come over to the PBC, and so they're trying to, dry out the lake, and they damming up the river so he can come over to the other side to get a drink of water, and so they're looking to sign Crawford to get him in on the mix with all the other welterweights. And so there is a plan for PBC in place to get these fighters, to get these fights going. And I hope Terrence Crawford, learns from everything he's been through and that he will go over to the PBC and get away from top rank. Porter's 31 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw, 17 KOs. Crawford, 37 wins, 0 losses, and 28 KOs. So, you know, now they're about to get their date going. Um, I don't know how many, I think it's like one more fight he owes. Terrence Crawford owes top rank. So hopefully he can get done with top rank and make it over to the PBC side. If Terrence Crawford, if he resigns with top rank, then it's a wrap. It's pretty much a wrap for his career. It's pretty much over. Has it? Yeah, yeah. But I just wanted to do a short. I just wanted to do a short stream, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. This has been Pool Kind of Boxing. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.